All right. January 2020, number 27. We have reviewed this already. I just got to drive the point home because I know it's going to happen and I'm going to just lose it. All right. When I hear about it from other teachers who are going to grade your exam. This is a volume question. All right. First, we should go over how do I know this is a volume question? 43 pounds per cubic foot. That's how I know it's a volume question. Actually, it's a density question, isn't it? Because it's pounds mass per cubic foot, which is volume. Mass over volume is our density. But we see cubic feet, it's got to be volume. And this happened to you on some of you on the quiz. Don't let it lightning strike twice. If you're doing a volume problem, whether it's in parts 2 through 4 like we're doing now, or darn it if it's multiple choice, don't find the volume until you are sure the units all match. Doing a volume problem, make sure the units match, and they don't here. So that's the only reason why I'm going over this one, to drive that point home. When you find the volume, the units have to match. So I just can't go 8 times 3 times 1. The 1 is in inches. They all need to be in feet, right? They all need to be in feet here because that's what your density is in, feet. Don't try to do it at the end either. All right, all 3 of these need to be in feet before you calculate the volume, which the 1 is not. You can keep the 8 and the 3, that's fine, but the 1 I need to convert to feet. So 1 inch is going to be equal to how many feet here? All right, that's what you need to figure out before you plug it back in. If you're nervous, you don't know what to do, you know my suggestion. Take the conversion, 1 foot equals 12 inches, and make a proportion out of it. Well, how many feet are in 1 inch? Make a proportion out of it. Cross multiply, I'm going to leave it as a fraction. I'm going to leave it as 1/12. All right. Somebody asked last period, well, can I just turn the 8 feet and 3 feet into inches, and then when I find the volume, convert it back to feet? No, you can't. You cannot. All right, because 1 foot equals 12 inches is not true once I cube it. That is not a true fact. That's not a true measurement. Do it at this very beginning. Do not do anything at the end. All right, now you find the volume. Everything's in feet. We're good to go. We end up with 2 cubic feet for the volume of your tabletop. Now you got to find how many pounds it's in. How many pounds is in it? So 43 pounds per cubic foot. I'm going to use my density formula because that's what I've been showing you. And we said that 43 is my density because it's in pounds per cubic feet. What's the mass of the tabletop when I have a volume of 2? Do you need to show density for? No. If you know to multiply 43 and 2, just show us that. All right, just show us that. It's only 2 points, remember. £86. Again, just want to drive the point home. Next Friday, doing any volume problem, no matter where it is on the test, make sure it's all in the same units. Again, you're responsible for feet to inches. Anything else will either be given in the problem or it's going to be on your formula sheet, the conversion, remember. All right, this should be the only one you have to bring to the exam with you. Questions on this one? All right, let's move to the next one then, 28. Trying to go over all these circle facts, small piece at a time. All the circle facts are located up on Classroom, on where you guys are getting all your exams on Classroom. There's a sheet at the bottom that says all your facts. There's a whole page dedicated to the circle ones. If you weren't here, sorry, but last Friday we went over how to find that angle on the outside. This has nothing to do, I'm just mentioning that. This has nothing to do with angles. This has everything to do with lengths now. CA 12.5. CB 4.5. And we are looking for DA, everybody. DA, what's the length of DA? All right, again, nothing to do with angles, but has everything to do with lengths of secants and tangents. I don't expect anybody to remember this. Maybe if you do, great. But when I'm dealing with tangents and secants, not chords, tangents and secants, we remember this saying, whole times external equals whole times external. All right, that is lengths of tangents and secants. Chords is a different fact, all right? Chords is a different fact if you're doing lengths of chords. All right, let's plug it in now. Let's go to the secant, ABC. The whole thing is 12 and a half, right? Whole thing's 12 and a half. Here's where you could trip up, right? Somebody plugs in 4.5. That's the part on the inside. I'm looking for the external part. This part right there, AB. That's what I need to plug in. That's the external part. So I do some quick subtraction. 12 and a half minus 4 and a half. 8. So make sure there's an 8 here. That's where you could get caught up. Make sure it's the part on the outside. And then what about the tangent? Whole and external are the same thing, right? Because they're all, the whole thing is on the outside. So X and X. Whole times external for tangents and secants. I know, a lot to remember. All the circle facts are on that reference sheet on steroids, where you guys find all your exams on Classroom. All right, last one here today, 30. I have not gone over any of this, and we haven't done it since Unit 5, so. Here we go. Two parts to this problem. First part, these are all medians. All right, these three here are all medians. So let's review what a median is again. Median starts at a vertice of a triangle and is drawn to the opposite sides. Medians go where? Midpoint. All right, starts at a vertice, goes to the opposite sides, midpoint. So F, E, and D are all midpoints. That helps us because if this is 15, F's a midpoint. Now I can put this as 7 and a half of it. So I needed to know medians go to midpoints. If you're thinking form right angles, that's an altitude, everybody. The altitudes form the right angles. Medians go to the midpoints. So there's part one, remembering what a median is. Part two of this is noticing, hey, all three medians are intersecting right there at point C. We got a name for that. All three medians. Anybody remember where they intersect at? Centroid. They intersect at the centroid. Now, what's so special about the centroid? So I can finish this problem. Centroid. 2 to 1, right? Splits every median into a ratio of 2 to 1. So everyone see why they gave CE was 5. That means you can now find CX because it's 2 to 1. So I double 5, and now I'm at 10. The bigger piece is always the vertice to the centroid. That's always the bigger piece. All right, vertice to centroid is always the bigger piece. All right, I got one more side to find, and that's FC. And we're going to use this fact right here. They told us that YF was 21. So the whole median's 21, and we just learned that it's broken up in a ratio of 2 to 1. So either we can guess and check two numbers that are double each other and add to 21. You can guess and check that. I don't think it'll be too hard. You can guess and check two numbers that are double. One's double the other, and they have to add to 21. Or you can say, hey, let me set up a quick equation. I'll throw an X on FC. CY is double that. So that's got to be 2X. And they add the 21. Or again, you can guess and check it. Your number's there. So we get X equal to 7. And now we can find the perimeter. So just for a little vocabulary review, medians and centroids. Okay, medians and centroids. All right, that's a wrap. A lot of time to practice. All right, you want to move around, work with other people, that's fine. Just make sure it's and you don't have to stay on here. You guys want to go to other exams that maybe you printed out or yesterday's multiple choice, that's fine. But here's what I'm suggesting from the part 2 through 4 of that exam today. All right, so as long as you're working on an exam, that's all I care about right now. And you have its answer key out. All right, if you want me to sit down and go over anything with you, that's fine. I'll put some compasses on the back table in case anybody wants to try some constructions. Up to you what you want to try now.